employment and unemployment. Okay, before moving ahead, you should keep in mind some different definition that what does it mean. The first term is labor force. Labor force as a working class, all people of working age who are willing and able to do work. This is known as labor force. The other term is dependent population. Okay, like you can consider that you are a dependent population, you are depending on your parents, okay, and they are working somewhere. Got my point? So people not in the labor force, and like you can't consider yourself in a labor force because you are not even able to do any kind of work. Okay, so it could be like some of the examples we can take in the dependent population, like students, retired pupils, stay at home parents, prisoners, or the similar institution. Okay, you can't consider them in a employment force. Then we have employment. Employment is something that you are engaged with particular kind of a work. This is known as employment. Unemployment, what do you mean by the unemployment? Unemployment is a situation where people in the labor force are actively looking for jobs but are currently unemployed. Okay, simply. Then all governments had macroeconomic objectives of maintaining a low employment rate. Then full employment. This is the situation where the entire labor force is employed. Okay, if you have a job, you can consider yourself as employed. If you don't have a job but you are still searching for that, you can consider yourself as an unemployed person, and full employment where there is no unemployment. Got my point? Next, that how pattern has been changed and the level of employment. There are 2 to 3 different things you just have to remember that what does it mean. Over the time, pattern and the level of employment has been changed. It could be due to the effect of the business cycle that every economy goes through from time to time, growth and the recession. Like you can take an example of the COVID, that because of the COVID, employment level has been changed. Okay, if you go back to before 2020, people were willing to do different jobs. They switch one job and move to another one. Okay, but at the moment, because of the recession due to the COVID, okay, people are sticking on one job. Okay, so this is the first thing you can say the pattern has been changed. The other one, as an economy develops, it undergo the structural changes as output and the employment shift from primary sector to the manufacturing sector and then to the tertiary one. If you remember that we already have a discussion on the primary, secondary, and tertiary. They said now the business has been moved from primary to the manufacturing and then the tertiary level. Like tertiary level, now you have to give the services like the IT sectors. Okay, so because of that movement, employment rate has been changed. This can be seen as a rapidly developing countries like the India, where their employment in agriculture and allied industries are rapidly falling, and people are moving towards the fast growing sector service like IT and retail. People are moving from agriculture to the IT one. So this is another change. The first change was because of the COVID. People, the employment rate has employment system has been changed. Now the others is that people are moving from agriculture to the IT. This is another change that you can see in this current present world. The other one, over time, an economy develops, the labor force also sees an increase in the proportion of female labor. Okay, as social attitude become progressive and women are encouraged to work. We have discussed 3 things, Shares. Because of the COVID, okay, people are sticking to do one job. Getting my point? Number second, people are moving from agriculture to the IT sector. Next shift. The third is because of the feminism, women has been, they are getting or they are involving into the jobs. Okay, there you can say this is another shift. Getting my point? 3 shifts we discussed over there. Now, what are the measuring of unemployment? The first one, claimant count. Unemployment people can file for unemployment claims like benefits allowance provided to the unemployment job seekers. Like people who mention that they are unemployed or they are looking for benefits or allowance, you can consider that there is an unemployment. Getting Sharis? The other one, labor survey. If you wanted to collect that how many people are unemployed, you can go and check the labor survey. The third one, unemployment rate. Now there is a formula, you can mention it over there. Employment rate is equal to the number of people unemployed divided by total number of people in a labor force. Then underemployment.